kindness. Diba?
And so,
In chapter 9, he showed kindness kay Jonathan at yung kanyang anak. Okay, go, ikaw na. Yun yung chapter 9.
In chapter 9.
And then yung chapter 10, hindi natin muna, although pag nabasa natin, hindi mo natin mamaya i-verse the version
Verse by
kasi
verse.
yung chapter 11, dun tayo magko-concentrate. Chapter 9 is all about David defeating the Philistine and the Ammonites. Yun lang yun.
Teka, i-show ko ang share screen tayo. Okay. Yankee, can you read verses 1 to 4? Wala si Yankee.
David asked, "Is there anyone still left of the house of Saul to whom I can show kindness for Jonathan's sake?" Now there was a servant of Saul's household named Ziba. They summoned him to appear before David, and the king said to him, "Are you Ziba?" "At your service," he replied. The king asked, "Is there no one still alive from the house of Saul to whom I can show God's kindness?" Ziba answered the king, "There is still a son of Jonathan. He is lame in both feet." "Where is he?" the king asked. Ziba answered, "He is at the house of Machir, son of Amiel, in Lo-debar."
So nakita natin sa chapter 9 na yung great love ni David. Parang hinanap niya, 'di ba? Yung customary noon kapag yung king ng new dynasty, completely massacre niya yung anyone connected dun sa dating dynasty, 'di ba? Dating kingdom. So si David, he went against that principle ng revenge against the and the principle of self-preservation, di ba? Parang kailangan kasi baka gumante itong past dynasty, di ba? So pero hindi niya ginawa 'yon, di ba? Hindi niya gustong kasi meron pang isa, di ba? So bakit kaya, di ba? Bakit hindi niya minasaker o winipe out itong buong ni Saul? Naalala niyo kung bakit? Bakit hindi niya winipe out? Hindi niya pinatay lahat?
It could be in respect to God who anointed Saul. So he doesn't want to do that, to kill one that is anointed by God. That's one reason. And of course, that Jonathan, his BFF.
Best friend.
Yeah, because meron siyang covenant with Jonathan, di ba? For Jonathan's sake, may covenant silang dalawa. So yung actions niya not only based on feelings, di ba? But on the promise of that covenant. Nalaman din natin na pilay si ano ba pangalan?
Mephibosheth,
di ba? Pilay on good legs. So dahil hindi na nakakalakad, talagang dependent dun sa kanyang nurse. At na rin natin na bakit napilay kasi tinakbo siya ng nurse kasi ayaw niyang mapatay si bata pa lang noon, siguro 5 to 7 years old pa lang si Mephibosheth, di ba? So hindi ko alam kung paano nahulog, siguro masyadong malalim yung pinaghulugan niya when he had the fall, di ba? Parang yung siguro natakot yung nurse niya at pati na rin si Siga pinrotect itong batang to, di ba? So where is he? Sinabi nasa house ni Machir. Sa susunod na mga chapters, si Machir magiging very faithful kay David, di ba? At son of Amiel in Lo-debar. Ni-research ko kung saan yung Lo-debar. Ang na-research ko lang parang ang ibig lang sabihin ng Lo-debar is nothing or meaningless, di ba? Yung kumbaga 'di ba? Paano ka naman titira sa isang place na wala, 'di ba? So nalaman natin through na loyal si Siba, very loyal na servant kay Saul, 'di ba? Ang tapos nakita rin natin yung kawawang lagay ni Mephibosheth na oo, 'di ba? Pero ako yung parang feeling ko yung bang sinabi ni Siba na meron pa. 'Di ba? Yung parang ang ano ko dito, naniwala siya kaagad kay David yung pagkaano niya na tawag dito na totoo si David na may malasakit, 'di ba? Kasi kung iba 'yon, 'di ba baka patayin kaya itatago na lang, 'di ba? So yung makikita natin dito na by God's providence lahat 'to. 'Di ba? Si God talaga ang nag-aano na kung ano yung mangyayari, 'di ba? Talagang makikita mo na orchestrated by God, 'di ba? Na sinabi kung asa kasi pwede naman nila itago 'di ba? O sige. Teka muna. Sino pwedeng ng 5 to 7? 5 to 8. 5 to 8. Klaro, ikaw na. 5 to 8.
Okay, 5 is so King David had him brought from Lo Debar, from the house of Machir, son of Amiel. When Mephibosheth, son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, came to David, he bowed down to pay him honor. David said, Mephibosheth, at your service, he replied. Don't be afraid, David said to him, for I will surely show your kindness for the sake of your father Jonathan. I will restore to you all the land that belonged to your grandfather Saul, and you will always eat at my table.
Okay. So, nakita natin dito na si Mephibosheth, diba? Ito na yung kinatatakot, di ba? Napipil yung takot ng Mephibosheth na baka patayin siya. Kaya kahit na napakasakit, napakahirap for him to bow down to David on all fours, yung legs niya at saka talagang nagbigay galang at para lahat ginawa niya para hindi mapatawad siya at hindi siya mapatay, di ba? Sabi ni David, do not be afraid, di ba? Yung talagang David showed kindness sa descendants ni Jonathan because of the covenant he made with Jonathan sa 1 Samuel 20, di ba? So si David naman nag-promise din siya na kay Mephibosheth na whatever I have, I will share it with you. Di ba? Kakain din siya sa same table and he will give Mephibosheth kung ano man yung dapat sa kanya in honor at lalo na yung honor na maging very close sa king kasi everyday kasama niya sa pagkain, di ba? Naalala ko tuloy yung you will eat with me, di ba? Parang naalala niyo sa Luke 22 verse 30, nag-promise din similar promise binigay ni Jesus sa kanyang mga followers, di ba? Sabi niya, he told his disciples that they would eat and drink at his table in heaven. Di ba? Parang ito yung may mga analogy dito na napakagandang pag-aralan, di ba? And tapos di ba yung sa verse 8 yung what is your servant that you should notice para a dead dog like me? Bakit, di ba? Yung hindi siya feel worthy na sa generosity ni David na yan. Parang feeling niya wala na siya kasi nakikita lang siya, he has nothing. At saka very dependent nga siya dito sa mga taong kumukop sa kanya dahil nga hindi siya nakakalakad, di ba? At saka yung poverty niya eh. Walang-wala talaga. So, ang liit-liit ng tingin niya sa kanya, ang feeling niya napaka-worthless niya. Diba? 9 to 12, Carol, can you read?
Sandali.
Oo.
9 to 12.
9 tama. 9 to 13 pala. 9 to 13.
9 to 13. Okay. 9 to 13. Then the king summoned Ziba, Saul's steward, and said to him, I have given your master's grandson everything that belonged to Saul and his family. You and your sons and your servants are to farm the land for him and bring in the crops, so that your master's grandson may be provided for. And Mephibosheth, grandson of your master, will always eat at my table. Now Sheba had 15 sons, wow, and 20 servants. Then Ziba said to the king, your servant will do whatever my lord the king commands his servant to do. So Mephibosheth ate at David's table like one of the king's sons. Mephibosheth had a young son named Micah, and all the members of Ziba's household were servants of Mephibosheth. And Mephibosheth lived in Jerusalem because he always ate at the king's table. He was lame in both feet. Yun na? 12?
13.
Okay. Wala. Hindi ko
Kaya
makita.
tapos na 13 yun. Okay. So nakita natin dito, di ba? Hindi niya talaga pinabayaan si Mephibosheth, di ba? Oo. At binigyan niya ng lupa para matil, di ba? Para mapagkakitaan. At hindi lang niya binigyan ng property, di ba? Binigyan din niya ng servants to work on the land. And food, di ba, from the land, para sa yung lahat ng kikitain noon, lahat ng food na maaano doon, maaani para sa family ni Mephibosheth, kasi si Mephibosheth palaging kay David kumakain, di ba? Tapos nakita natin dito na your servant will do whatever my lord the king commands. Your servant will do, di ba? Yung talagang meron pang yangsan si Mephibosheth, si Micah, at saka lahat ng members ng household ni Ziba, servants din ni Mephibosheth. At di ba? And all the days of his life, lagi siyang nakikikain. Kumbaga, presidential table, lagi siya nasa presidential table. Di ba? Okay. Ang gusto ko lang dito yung analogy dito ko nakita yung, di ba, si David, siya yung humanap, siya yung naghanap sa descendant si Jonathan para ma-fulfill niya yung covenant of love niya, yung covenant niya kay Jonathan, di ba? At parang naano ko, si Jesus also sought out the descendants of Adam tayo, di ba? Di ba, yung covenant of love ni Jesus sa atin. So he wants to love everyone who is in need. Di ba? Nakita natin si Mephibosheth, poor, crippled, at potential threat talaga siya, di ba? Siya yung legitimately siya talaga yung first to the throne, kinuha lang ni David, di ba? Yung pwedeng maging threat talaga kay David, pero hindi inisip ni David yon, di ba? Wait. Okay. Tapos, ano pa ba to? So, si Mephibosheth, wala siyang kumbaga, except for the covenant with Jonathan, hindi siya deserving. He did nothing to deserve David's love. And tayo rin, we don't deserve, di ba, Jesus' love for us. Well, all of this, Jesus' love is based on grace. Di ba? We did nothing to deserve His grace and His salvation. And si Mephibosheth lost everything before finding King David's grace. Ganun din tayo. 'Di ba? Jesus wants us to lose our earthly life to find yung grace na ino-offer niya, 'di ba? And ano pa ba? Ano pa ba nakita ko dito? 'Di ba yung and tayo, when we are in heaven we will be dining with Him. So parang nakita ko yung analogy na ito pala yung pwedeng mangyari, na tayo yung si Mephibosheth na crippled, walang worthless, ganyan. At saka yung saan siya nakita? Sa Lodebar. Ang Lodebar, di ba, walang, ang ibig sabihin, wala, nothing. Napaka, ano yung kanyang
Wala.
situation,
Okay.
di ba? Walang karapatan talaga, parang tayo. Okay, 1 Samuel 10, sabi nga ni Mike, hindi natin i-verse by verse tong chapter 10 na to. Siguro, ilang lang naman to, 17. Pwedeng pabasa ko kay sino ba? Kay Joey. Nawala na naman si Joey.
Baka
Teloy,
na-
nag-ano ka?
kasi
Nagpuputol-putol.
O napuputol ako, sandali ha.
choppy ka. Yung pagsabi mo ng
Okay.
Joe.
Oo,
Okay.
yes.
Baka hindi niya na-read.
Okay. Pwede na lang si Rose, ikaw na lang. Magandang speaking voice ni Rose.
Happy.
Choppy ka ulit, Teloy.
Teka,
Choppy ka
Rose?
ulit.
Bakit ganun?
Hindi na maintindihan.
Hello? Okay na?
Yan.
Okay na. Pero
Okay.
naintindihan niyo naman yung explanation ko sa 9. Hindi pa ako choppy noon.
Yes.
Okay.
Oo.
Yes.
Nung
Eto,
nitong sa
ano lang.
10, pag nagme-mention ka ng name, doon ka nag-choppy.
Oo.
Parang may naggagawa ng noon, may gumagawa ng I'll have to Rose Rowa to read the whole chapter 9.
9?
Well
Ten.
done.
10 pala, 10. The whole chapter 10.
So start po tayo
Ten?
the whole thing.
10.
O
So
11.
start po like in the course of time, the king.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. In the course of time, the king of the Ammonites died, and his son Hanun succeeded him as king. David thought, I will show kindness to Hanun, son of Nahash, just as his father showed kindness to me. So David sent a delegation to express his sympathy to Hanan concerning his father. When David's men came to the land of the Ammonites, the Ammonite commander said to Hanan, their lord, do you think David is honoring your father by sending envoys to you to express sympathy? Hasn't David sent them to you only to explore the city and spy it out and overthrow it? So Hanan seized David's envoys, shaved off half of each man's beard, cut off their garments at the buttocks, and sent them away. When David was told about this, he sent messengers to meet the men, for they were greatly humiliated. The king, they said, stay at Jericho till your beards have grown, and then come back. When the Ammonites realized that they had become obnoxious to David, they hired 20,000 Aramean foot soldiers from Beth Rehob and Zobah, as well as the king of Makkah with 1,000 men, and also 12,000 men from Tob. Wait lang po Tapos, wait, ayan na. Nasaan na? On hearing this, David sent Joab out with the entire army of fighting men. The Ammonites came out and drew up in a battle formation at the entrance of their city gate, while the Arameans of Zobah and Rehob and the men of Tob and Maacah were by themselves in the open country. Job saw that there were battle lines in front of him and behind him. So he selected some of the best troops in Israel and deployed them against the Arameans. He put the rest of the men under the command of Abishai, his brother, and deployed them against the Ammonites. Job said, "If the Arameans are too strong for me, then you are to come to my rescue. But if the Ammonites are too strong for you, then I will come to rescue you. Be strong and let us fight bravely for our people and the cities of our God. The Lord will do what is good in his sight." Then Job and his troops with him advanced to fight the Arameans. They fled before him. When the Ammonites realized that the Arameans were fleeing, they fled before Abishai and went inside the city. So Job returned from fighting the Ammonites and came to Jerusalem. After the Arameans saw that they had been routed by Israel, they regrouped. Wait lang, Tita Loy, paakyat po. Ayan. After the Arameans saw that they had been routed by Israel, they regrouped. Hadadezer had Arameans brought from beyond the Euphrates River. They went to Helam with Shobach, the commander of Hadadezer's army, leading them. When David was told of this, he gathered all Israel, crossed the Jordan, and went to Helam. The Arameans formed their battle lines to meet David and fought against him, but they fled before Israel. And David killed 700 of their charioteers and 40,000 of their foot soldiers. He also struck, Tita Loy, patakyat pa. He also struck down Shebach, the commander of their army, and he died there. When all the kings who were vassals of Hadadezer saw that they had been routed by Israel, they made peace with the Israelites and became subject to them. So the Arameans were afraid to help the Ammonites anymore.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So itong chapter 10 is really David is at the peak of his career on being a king, di ba? So lahat ng kanyang nakalaban ay napapanalo niya, di ba? That is yun yung kanyang peak na ng kanyang career. So lahat, even yung nakabalita dun sa neighboring country, ang ginagawa ng mga yon kasi natakot sila sa mga Israelites, they make peace with David. So naging kilala ngayon si David dito. And he was very, and dito ninyo sa 18, and David killed 700 of their chariots and 40,000 of their foot soldiers. Imagine ninyo yan, napakadami. And also struck down Shobach, the commander of their army, and he died there. Diba? When all the kings who were vassals of Hadadezer saw that they have been routed by Israel, they made peace with Israelites and became subject to them. Ibig sabihin, parang sumuko sila kay David. So, imagine nyo yun, David killed. Ang dami. Di ba? Now, pagdating natin sa 11,
Wait,
Pagdating natin ng 11, ito yung magseset ng stage ng So, in the spring, ibig sabihin, at the time when king go off to war, kasi pag sinabing spring, ano ibig sabihin nun? Pag sinabing spring, galing sila ng winter, and then spring is what?
Madaming
Anong spring?
The
Flowers.
sunshine,
flowers.
Ano yung nag-i-spring?
the trees.
The trees and the fruits, di ba? Food nila is bountiful. At saka ito yung magandang time na yung mga king ay dapat ay tumama dun sa war. Kasi na siya, ibig sabihin, maaliwalas ang panahon. Na? And David sent Joab, okay? Si Joab is the commander-in-chief of David, di ba? He is one of the trusted and bravest soldier ni David. With king's men and the whole Israelite army, lahat, they destroyed the Ammonites and besieged Rabbah. Rabbah is the capital of the Ammonites. But David remained in Jerusalem. So naiwan siya. Kasi after the battle of yung chapter 10, hindi naman usually dapat sumama ang mga king during the battle. Diba? Pagkatapos ng kanyang victory sa chapter 10, nagpaiwan ngayon si David. For some reason, hindi natin alam. Ha?
Hindi naman.
Yeah, parang parang nagpahinga lang. Or ibig sabihin kasi, hinahabol na lang nila itong mga Ammonites eh. Ibig sabihin, it's not a threat. Diba? Parang sa akin gano'n ha. Okay, ang pinadala niya yung kanyang commander-in-chief. Pero lahat ng army kasama. Okay, isang gabi, one evening, David woke up from his bed and walked around the roof of the palace. Yung roof ng palace, yan yung naka-elevate. Ibig sabihin, pag nandun ka sa roof ng palace, kita mo lahat yung mga houses doon sa courtyard. So kita mo yung mga roof doon. Ang ibig sabihin, tanaw na tanaw mo. Can you imagine ba? Lahat ng mga naandun sa palace, yung mga houses na naandun sa courtyard, kitang-kita niya. Di ba? From the roof, he saw a woman bathing, naliligo. That is a customary during that time, ang paniligo. It's not unusual, di ba? And the woman was very beautiful, ibig sabihin pretty siya. Despite na malayo yung distance niya, nakita niya yung woman is a beautiful. And David sent someone to find out about her. Di ba? Agad-agad. Di ba? Agad-agad. Now remember guys, bago ang pangyayari itong chapter 11, ilan na yung naging wife niya ni David doon sa anong
Nana pa niya yung kay Kwan.
Ha?
So,
Ilan
nagmana pa siya. Ay,
Ilan
hindi ko
Ilan yung
Pero ang dami.
Ilan?
Marami.
6.
Mga 6, yeah, correct. Sino yun?
6.
Tama, correct. 6 na yun, ha? So ito, tingnan nyo, ha? And then David sent someone to find out about her. The man said, she is Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam and the wife of Uriah the Hittites. Okay. Then David sent messenger to get her. She came to him and slept with her. Now she was purifying herself from her monthly uncleanliness. Alam niyo mga girls, ano? And then she went back home. The woman conceived and sent word to David saying, I am pregnant. So, pag binasa natin to, parang sobrang pagkabilis ng pangyayari. Di ba? Kung babasahin mo to. Pero sa tunay na yung mga pangyayari, it's different eh. So when the man, nung nakita na ni David na si Bathsheba, and then, being being a king, di ba? Si David, bigla siyang, alam niyo yon, yung if you are in power, di ba? You suddenly lost your tawag nito? Your sense of being a man, di ba? Kasi may power ka eh. And David is not exempted. Yung power niya got into his head. And we are not exempted of that. So we don't have to judge right away David. If you were in power, and sino sa inyo nakaranas na you are in power? Alam ko meron kayong mga people under you, you know what I mean, di ba? Then David sent messenger to get her. Sa palagay niyo ba si David, yung yung sinabi niya sa messenger, okay, get her. Sabi niya. Hindi na nagduda yung messenger. He right away kasi he is a king. He's not a king of Israel. Parang kingdom na sila nun eh. He is the most powerful during that time. And then she came to him, agad-agad din si Bathsheba. She is married, di ba? She came to him and he slept with her. Why did Bathsheba, right away obey without hesitation?
Because he is king?
Because she is king. Ano pa?
Handsome?
Correct. Handsome. Tama.
Yeah, that's true.
Very powerful.
Powerful.
Okay.
And
Okay. Bakit merong close parenthesis in-insert dito? Now she was purifying herself from her monthly uncleanness. O bakit siningit yan?
Oo nga.
Then she went back home. Di pagkatapos, she went back home. The woman conceived and sent word to David saying, I am pregnant. Isipin nyo guys, I am pregnant. Bakit in-insert yun? Why? Kasi it's because pag binasa uli natin mamaya yung iba, hindi pwedeng sabihin ni David
Hindi akin
na
yan.
yung dinadala ni Bathsheba ay kay Uriah, yung asawa. Kasi before sila nagsiping, 'di ba? Before sila nagsiping, meron na yung katatapos lang, meron. Ibig sabihin, nagkaroon siya. So the woman is, Bathsheba is what?
Fertile.
Fertile.
Oo, hindi siya pregnant. Oh, kaya yung writer nito, isiningit na yan.
Siningit niya.
Kasi nung binabasa niya to, siguro nung nira-write niya to, isiningit niya to. So David cannot say na iyon ay kay Uriah. Pero tingnan nyo So David sent this word to Joab. Send me Uriah the Hittites, and Joab sent him to David. Diba? When Uriah came to him, David asked him how Joab was, how the soldiers were, and how the war was going. Diba? Parang nagtanong. Then David said to Uriah, go down to your house and wash your feet. So Uriah left the palace, and a gift of the king was sent after him. But Uriah slept at the entrance to the palace with all his master's servant and did not go down to this house. Now, explain nyo nga ito. Ibig sabihin lang kasi nung go down to your house and wash your feet. Ang ibig lang sabihin, pumunta ka sa asawa mo, pag sinabihin, kasi ang ibig sabihin nyo, it is an idiomatic expression yung wash your feet. Ibig sabihin,
pumasok ka.
You go to bed and make love to your wife. Yan, exactly. Yun ang idiomatic expression to eh. Kaya lang si Uriah. Tapos binigyan pa siya ng king ng mga sa ibang version yan, mga foods yan eh. Para sila mag-enjoy ng mag-asawa. Kita nyo yung, guys, si David, yung iniisip niya.
Ang dami schemes.
Nakita nyo yung iniisip niya?
Schemish.
Ano nangyari kay David? From chapter 9 na pinag-aralan nyo na being kind.
Being kind, a man
was a kind. And then,
forgiving.
And then here it is.
Sa chapter 10 meron dun sa last part na hindi siya sumama sa war. Pero natatalo na sila. Tumali din siya. And ito pinakita ni God sa kanya na kailangan ka sa war. At saka sa Israel hanggang ngayon, yung mga generals kasama na sa frontline niyan. Yun ang talagang kailangan sumama ka sa war. Pero ito, nagdididali kasi siya. Yung parang,
Yeah.
alam mo, an idle mind is a devil's,
Devil.
Dwelling place of
Workshop.
evil.
Workshop.
Yeah.
So talagang nag-relax siya sa palasyo niya, lumakad siya, tapos yung sa roof kasi kita mo lahat eh. Hindi naman niya talaga sinasadya na makita si Bathsheba. Hindi siya pumunta ron para lang manilip. Pero nakita niya yung magandang si Bathsheba. At di lang niya nakita. Di ba? Tinanong pa niya, he researched, sino ba tong babaeng to? Di ba? He could have stopped there. O si Bathsheba, o sabihin mo naman, wag maligo ng wag maligo na makikita siya. Di ba?
Tinex yun, tinex.
Tinex.
Yeah.
So parang, di ba
May
yung
buwan.
stop there? Hindi. Ang nangyari pa, pakikuha nga yan si Bathsheba. O sige, ako, kung makilala, si David, he made love to her. Di ba? Alam niya na may asawa. So yung progression ng kanyang scene, nakita natin. Tayo kasi pag matatempt tayo somewhere, mag-stop na tayo. Sa mata pa lang, pag nakita natin, stop na. Di ba? O yun.
Okay. Teka, nasa na ba tayo?
Sorry na.
Nasaan tayo?
Naisip ko lang.
But Ruyada slept at the entrance. Bakit? Bakit hindi sinunod? He was a king. Why he did not?
Hindi king, a soldier.
Hindi, si Uriah is a trusted soldier yan. And one of the bravest soldier of David.
Mm-hmm.
And then, bakit niya hindi sinunod during that time?
Naandyan.
Ano yung kanyang mas priority?
To serve the king?
Ito yung
sa 11.
Magkaroon ng happenings with the master servants.
Yeah. Hindi, ganito guys.
The ark and the Israel and Judah staying in tents. And my commander Joab and my lords and the lords men are camped in the open country. How could I go to my house and eat and drink and make love to my wife? Assuredly as you live, I will not do such a thing. Nahiya siya. Lumalaban yung mga kasama niya. Siya, di ba? Mag-ano lang.
Yeah.
Relax.
Ang context kasi nito guys, yung i-attack nilang si Ammonites sa Rabia. Yung a-attack nila doon is a walled city. A walled city ng mga Ammonites yon, di ba? So ikaw, yung mga Israelites, they are open. Na ano yung mga yung mga pelikula na yung nasa walled city, di ba? Mas advantage yung mga sa wall kasi nando sila sa taas, pwede nilang panain yung kalaban nila, walang mapagtataguan. It's an open area. Ha? Kaya yun sinabi ni Uriah, sabi niya, so while Joab had the city under siege, city ha, pag sinabing city, that is a wall. He put Uriah at, hindi, teka muna, paano muna? Nasaan ba tayo? Hindi, yung sinabi niyang Teka.
Ano yan? Which one is
Verse 24.
The 8. So David,
did not go home.
then David, okay. David was told, did not go home. So he asked, haven't you just come, verse 10, from the military campaign? Why did you not go home? Ibig sabihin, pag tinawag ka doon sa labanan na yon, ni-recall ka, pinapupunta ka sa iyong family, it is really a gift. Diba? Ibig sabihin, you have done something good. Kaya nga sabi ni David, bakit hindi siya pumunta? Bakit hindi siya pumunta sa asawa niya? Haven't you come from a military campaign? Supposed to be, matagal yon. Yung military campaign na yon, it took 1 week. Matagal yon, months yon. So why didn't you go home? And Uriah said to David, The ark and Israel and Judah are staying in tents, and my commander Joab and my lord's men are camped in an open country. Yun yung ina-explain ko sa inyo. Ano sila, ibig sabihin, wala silang mga pinagtatagoon. It was an open. Ang kalaban nila nasa city wall. How could I go to my house to eat and drink and make love to my wife? As surely as you live, I will not do such a thing. Do you think it's a valid reason? Ha?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a valid reason. Dapat nga si David mapahiya dun eh. Siya yung actually commander-in-chief of the whole Israel eh, di ba? Then
Bakit dito ka?
then David said to him, ito pa, stay here one more day and tomorrow I will send you back. Ha? Tingnan niyo isipan ni David.
Lahat ginagawa niya ng paraan.
Kasi sinabi kasi ni Bathsheba, I am pregnant. Bakit ganon? Bakit ganon na lang ang action ni David? Kasi sa batas nila noon, pag ikaw ay nakiapid, both of you, death. Yeah. Death.
Stoned to death.
Si Bathsheba at saka si David mismo. Silang dalawa. Diba? So nagpanic siya. And then may power siya. Diba? You have power. Diba? So makakapag-isip ka ng ganito. Diba? Diba? Okay. Stay one more day and tomorrow. So Uriah remained in Jerusalem that day and the next. At David's invitation, he ate and drank with him. Tingnan nyo ha. Si David, alam niya gagawin ni David, di ba? Alam niya gagawin eh. Teka, hindi ka pupunta na naman sa asawa mo ha. Teka, invite nga kitang mag-inuman tayo. And David made him drunk. But in the evening, Uriah went out to sleep in the mat among his master's servant, and he did not go home. Ang galing ni Uriah, no? Pero si Uriah, hindi niya alam. Still, he stick to his men.
Ano kasi
Hindi niya kasi
he's
magawa.
a good warrior.
Oo. Diba? Sobrang parang nakakaya si David.
Nakakaya. And to cover up his sin, ang dami niyang schemes
Diba?
na ginagamit.
Tapos,
na ginagawa.
14, in the morning, David wrote a letter to Joab. Kay Joab, nasaan si Joab nung nag-write ng letter si David? Nasaan?
Battlefield.
Nasa battlefield. And sent it, ang nagdala ay sino?
Uriah.
Si Uriah.
Raya.
Buti hindi sinilip.
Hindi binasa.
And in it he wrote, put Uriah out in front where the fighting is fierce. Then withdraw from him so he will be struck and die. Now, kung ikaw ay si Joab, ano isipin mo? Common sense.
Gusto nitong patayin.
Oo. Pero being commander-in-chief, ano yung sa mga soldier, sabi niya? Follow before you obey before you complain. Yeah.
Obey before you think.
Obey before you complain. Diba? Okay, yun nga nangyari. When the man of the city, Joab has the city under siege, she put a place where he knew the strongest defenders were. When the men of the city came out and fought fight against Joab, some of the men in David's army fell. Moreover, Uriah the Hittites died. Ngayon, bakit lumabas yung mga city? Kasi ganito yon. Pag nilusob nila yung walled city at hindi nila talaga na paano yung wall, na pagiba nila yung wall, di ba? Atras yung mga yan. Pag umatras sila, yung mga tao doon sa inside, hahabulin sila. When the men of the city came out and fought against Joab, hinabol nila yung David's army. Unfortunately, namatay nga si Uriah. Di ba? Ano ang magiging ni Joab? So Joab sent David a full account of the battle. He instructed the messenger, when you have finished giving the king to this account of the battle, the king's anger may flare up and he may ask. So ibig sabihin, nag-send ng si Joab sa messenger, sabihin mo account, di ba? Sabihin mo ang nangyari. When you finish giving this account, may posibilidad na ang king ay magagalit. At tapos magtatanong, why did you get so close to the city to fight? Did you not know that they will shoot arrows from the wall? Yan yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina, open sila Joab. Ang kalaban mo nasa wall. Who killed Abimelech, son of Jerubbaal? Didn't a woman drop, napag-aralan natin to, Joey, didn't a woman drop an upper millstone on him from the wall so that he died in Thebes? Why do you get so close to the wall? If he asks you this, sabi ni Joab dun sa messenger, pag tinanong sa'yo ni David, moreover, your servant Uriah, the Hittite is dead. Sabi niya. Pag tinanong sa'yo, sabihin mo agad, Uriah, Hittite is dead. Ibig sabihin ni Joab dyan, ibig lang sabihin ni Joab dyan, mission accomplished. Huwag ka nang magtanong. Di ba? Then the messenger set out, and when he arrived, he told David everything Joab had sent him to say. The messenger said to David, the men overpowered us, and they came out against us in the open, but we drove them back to the entrance of the city gate. Then the archers shot arrows at your servant from the wall, and son of the king's men died. Moreover, your servant Uriah, the Hittite, is dead. Okay? David told the messenger, tatapos tayo. Say this to Joab. Don't let this upset you. The sword devours one as well as another. Press the attack against the city and destroy it. Say this to encourage Joab. Kasi alam naman ni David, madi-discourage si Joab. Kasi si Joab, taon niya si Uriah. Yan yung one of the bravest men ni Joab. Tapos sasabihin ng commander-in-chief,
Patayin mo.
siya yung ibungat mo. Sigurado mo matay yun eh. And he doesn't know the context bakit sinabi ni David yun.
No commander wants any of his soldiers die.
When Uriah's wife heard that her husband was dead, she mourned for him. Yung mourn na yan, it took only 7 days. Guys, 7 days lang yan. After the time of mourning
was over,
David her brought to his house, and she became his wife and bore him a son. But the thing David has done displeased the Lord. Now, may tanong ako, bakit agad-agad si David, kinuha niya kaagad si Bathsheba at ginawa niyang wife? Bakit?
Andali.
Buntis.
buntis na.
Bago mapansin.
Buntis na.
Kita, okay, kita niyo yun? Kita niyo yung ginawa ni David. Balik na tayo. Pero before we make a drastic comment of David, alam ko meron kayong bakit niya nagawa yun.
Grabe.
Grabe naman yun.
Bashing. Bago nyo i-bash.
Bago nyo i-vlog.
Picture muna tayo.
Picture muna tayo.
Bago magmarites.
Bago kayo magmarites kay David,
Okay.
picture muna tayo.
Bless. Tess, pwede? Di ba nag-ano ka na? Nelo at Mel. Rubes. Ganda naman ninyo. Kahit bagong gising. Rubes.
Uuwi lang.
Okay, sige.
Bless.
Kauli
Saka
lang
sito?
daw.
Si Tess. Okay. Carol, hindi ka namin makita.
Oh, Carol.
Bakante yung Julia.
Okay. Ano natin ha? Bless, Rubes, at saka Maggie, at saka Tessa, at si Carol. Wala. Okay? One. Last chance.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Bless. Gusto mo
I'm here.
humabol at saka Rubes. Okay na? At Carol? Oh, smile. Mike. Dito ka na. 1, 2, 3. Mike, wala ka sa ano, half lang. Yan. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Okay.
So bago kayo magsalita kay David, alam ko naman how did David do that
How
after,
did he do that?
'di ba, yung he was said
Successful.
that he was a man after God's own heart, you know. Sinabi yon ni God sa kanya when he was 20 years old. And after that, maraming nangyari. Maraming nangyari sa buhay niya. 'Di ba? Hinabol siya ni Saul. Ilang beses siyang in-spear, nakaligtas siya. And when was David may opportunity siya na patayin si Saul, hindi niya ginawa kasi he value God. He value God. Kita niyo yung heart niya, 'di ba? And then yung kanina sa chapter 9, yung sinunod niya yung kanyang covenant kay Jonathan, kasi sabi ni Jonathan noon, alam na naman ni Jonathan na si David ay magiging king. Sabi niya, if ever na ikaw ay maging king, please spare my family. Diba? Yun yung sabi doon. Kaya yung kanyang apo ay kanyang anak ni Jonathan, iba naman yung kanyang nasa isipan. Kasi noon, pag ang old king ay namatay o na-overthrown, lahat ng mga kamag-anak, lahat ng mga kaibigan, lahat ng mga close sa kanya pinapapatay ng new king. Yun ang ganung setup hanggang ngayon naman, guys, 'di ba? Pag pinalitan mo yung isang presidente ng palit, talagang kagalit mo yung old president, 'di ba? Hindi mo kasundo. During that time, ganun ang isipan ni Jonathan. Kaya siya ay sino ba yung pangalan nung apo? Yung anak ni John.
Micah. Micah.
O yun.
Mephibosheth.
Kaya siya nagtatago. Wala siyang sariling bahay, nagtatago siya kasi ganun ang thinking niya na pag dumating si David, papatayin siya. Diba? So, the kindness of God through David, inano niya yon, di ba? Sabihin, tinupad niya. And then here he comes, marami siyang na-conquer na mga kalaban niya. And here comes chapter 11. Na naging one of the chapter ng life ni David na he regretted until he died. Diba? Now, how can we, sa akin na okay lang kayong magsabi, pero how can we judge David with this? Diba? Kasi kita nyo naman yung ginawa niya, yung scheme niya. Diba? He really panic nung sinabi ni Bathsheba, I am pregnant.
Pregnant.
Diba, Melot? Pag ganon,
Yes.
ano yung isipin nung lalaki? Teka muna. Teka na, hindi pwede. Under the law, papatayin tayo.
Bawal.
Oo,
Yes.
hindi lang ikaw Bathsheba, pati ako under the law.
Oo.
Diba? At saka yung kahihiyan. Di ba, Melod? Di ba? Yung
Yeah, yes.
you will be on his place, meron ka pang power. Di ba?
Brother Mike,
Power.
hindi rin niya naisip ang Panginoon, no, during that
Yeah,
time.
during this time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oo.
Nawala sa kanya yung yung God.
Yes.
Naisip niya lang yung sarili niya.
Oo.
Paano niya
Kaya
Yun
nga,
lang yung-
oo.
Melod, parang
Kaya nga
survival.
gumawa siya ng
Oo.
'di ba kaya nga siya gumagawa ng paraan para makasiping ni Uriah si
Uriah.
Bathsheba para mapagtakpan yung kanyang kasalanan. Para
Oo.
parang
Pero-
gano'n, 'di ba?
Yeah, it's so nice yung
Hindi parang
writer.
ganun. Ganun
Diba?
na nga.
Oo. It's so nice yung writer nito, 'di ba? Pinicture niya kaagad na si David, wala kalusot David. During that time nung sinipingan mo siya, 'di ba? Si Uriah is kakatapos lang niyang nagkaroon. Ibig sabihin, 'di ba? Fertile siya.
Perfect siya.
Yeah. And you cannot deny that. 'Di ba? You cannot deny that. Kaya si David gumawa siya ng paraan, scheme. Ibig sabihin, ilang araw kayang pinag-isipan ni David tong planong ito? Kasi pag binasa lang natin ito, meron kasi mga ibang Bible scholar na he really think that yung parang, halimbawa, pag ikaw ay isang daw soldier, meron kang, pag hindi nag-work yung plan A, you have a plan B.
Plan B.
Yeah. And then you have a plan C. Hanggang maging tagumpay yung pinaplano mo. Diba? Yung 'di ba, yung una, 'di ba, yung plan A, 'di ba? O sige. From the battle, punta ka rito. Punta ka sa asawa mo. Bigyan kita ng maraming prutas. It did not work, 'di ba? It did not work. So anong ginawa niya? Nilasing naman niya. Diba? Plan B, nilasing.
Hindi rin umuwi.
ang ano kasi, yeah, still God is, if it is during that time, we are in sin, still God is at work. Amen. Now, how do we judge David in light of this? Amen. Paano nyo i-judge si David? Di ba? David made a terrible mistake kay Bathsheba. Di ba? That is during that time, na siya yung kanyang career is at his peak. Gano'n naman talaga when you are in top, hanggang doon na lang, bababa ka if you are not careful. So anong nangyari? Kay David, if you will look at it, kasi bakit naman ginamit pa ni God itong si David? Why he was chosen, God, na siya ay maging David? Di ba? Siya yung pinaka-line, di ba? Ni Jesus Christ, papunta kay Jesus yun di ba? So anong nangyari? How will you view David in light of this? Yung kanyang kasalanan niya. How will you view it?
But may tingin ko dito kasi sa chapter, according to yung some of the, yung mga nag-aral po ng Bible, sabi niya dito sa chapter 9, probably 40 years old si David dito Pero dito sa chapter 11, yung nagawa niya kay Bathsheba, it's around mga 50 years old na. Hindi siya tuloy-tuloy. Sabi mahaba na yung naging pagitan niya. Siguro dito, nakita ko dito sa chapter 11, parang boredom na siya Kasi panay victory na yung nakukuha niya sa battle. So wala na siyang ibang libangan. Tsaka kung makikita natin yung ni David, is a polygamous mahilig siya sa babae. Kagaya ni Samson. Mahilig siya sa babae, kagaya rin ni Solomon. Mahilig din sila sa babae. So, during that time, di ba, pag sinabi natin na women, hindi siya yung under sila ng mga men, di ba? Hindi siya ganun kagaya dito sa ating lipunan, equal. Di ba? Sa kanila, hindi. So, anytime pwede nila kunin yung babae. So dito, tama yung sabi ni Ma'am Loy kanina, idle hands are the devil's workshop or playground. No? Kung wala tayong ginagawa, tinatamad-tamad, yung isip natin naglalaro eh. It happened pag akyat niya dun sa taas, nakita niya si Bathsheba naliligo. So, pumasok na yung devil sa kanya na hindi maganda. Marami siyang battle na pinanalo. But the battle of the flesh, doon siya natalo. Hindi niya nakaya yung battle of the flesh. Kaya ingat din, no? Kaya ang delikado kasi pag puro victory na, puro blessing yung natatanggap natin. That is true, ah. Pag puro blessing yung natatanggap ng isang tao, dumarating sa kanya yung minsan nakakalimot siya eh. Nakakalimot siya. Tapos itetest na siya ng kalaban, doon na siya nakakagawa ng kamalian. Kaya it's very dangerous. Kaya siya nasulat niya yung Psalm 51. Yung Psalm 51 is a David's prayer of forgiveness sa Panginoon. Sabi niya, create in me a clean heart, O God. Diba? And purify me, O God. Sabi niya rito sa Psalm 51. Pero dito, hindi natin siya ginajudge. Kasi ganun ang ginawa niya. Pero merong consequences of sin yan eh. Although pinatawad siya ng Panginoon, pero meron siyang consequences. Kaya nga dito sa susunod na chapter 12, si Nathan nagbigay na ng warning sa kanya eh, kung anong mangyayari doon sa household niya. Kaya paalala sa atin na pag ganito, lalo na yung tungkol sa purity about sex, konting ingat sa mga lalaki. Tama, Brother Claro?
Tama.
Parang ano yan eh. Every
Tama.
sin may consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah, pero yung consequences of the flesh in sex is
Still
much,
yes.
kasi every sin is against the body. But
Yes.
sex is against yourself, against the temple. We are the temple, diba? Of God. If we do
Holy
such
Spirit.
thing, na damage yung temple. Every sin against nagagawin ng tao, not sex, it's not in the body, di ba? Pag gumawa tayo ng sex, is sa katawan natin. So, yun ang isang mabigat na kasalanan sa Panginoon. So, we will not judge David kasi nagawa niya na yun. Pinagsisihan niya doon sa Psalm 51 kung babasahin natin lahat yun. Kaya, tao lang siya pagka nagkakamali. Kagaya natin maraming pagkakamali. Kaya lang, yung consequences, yun na nakakatakot. Pag may ginawa tayong mali, Lord, sana wala hindi magbunga po ito. Maawa po kayo. So, yun.
Yun. Thank
So,
you.
natin, Ma'am Carmen.
Parang sinabi ni Joey, parang cause nung ni David is boredom. Sabihin, he has everything, he has wealth, he has power, he has an army larger ng pinakamalaking army, di ba? So,
Na-board.
na-bored. Okay. Eh yung iba, how will you view the David in the light of this chapter 11? Sino? Ay, Melot, ikaw. Ikaw, Melot.
Ay, ano po yun? Ano po yun, Brother Mike?
How will
Ano
you
po yung
view
tanong?
David? Paano mo i-view si David in light of yung itong ginawa niya sa chapter 11?
Sa akin na lang po, si David kasi ano lang parang it's parang human na talagang ano to, magkakasala at magkakasala eh. I-ano ko lang sa atin, parang tayo, di ba? Every time na ano to, may nagagawang kasalanan, humihingi tayo ng tawad kay Lord, pero syempre, alam natin yung consequences natin. Alam natin na may kapalit yung ginawa nating kasalanan. Ayun, si David, ano pa, si David lang ano eh, ano to, di ba tayo, pag malapit tayo kay Lord, maraming ginagawa, yung ano tawag doon, malapit tayo sa kasalanan eh, di ba? Parang tinetest yung ating ano, yung ating, kung gaano ka-deep yung ating relationship kay God. Kaya, may mga bagay tayong nagagawa, pero at the end of the day, talagang alam natin mali, kaya humihingi tayo ng tawad. Sorry, Brother, kasi may kausap lang po ako, Brother Mike. Yung sa
Sige,
sister ko
okay
kasi
lang. Sorry,
tumawag
sorry.
lang po si ate dahil sa nanay. Opo.
Okay. Okay, my lord. Salamat.
Ah,
Thank you.
Opo,
Brother
opo.
Mike, can I magdagdag?
Okay.
Dito kasi, balikan natin yung chapter 9 kay David and Mephibosheth. Kasi dito, nakita natin yung kindness ni David eh. David was kind kasi 3 times minention dito sa chapter 9 verse 1 yung kindness, tapos dito sa verse 3 and verse 7 na mention yung kindness ni David. So David was may ugali siyang kind, pero dito rin sa chapter 10 na meron din siya nabanggit, I will show kindness to Hanum, di ba? Son of Nahas, di ba? Meron siya talagang kindness, kabutihan, kabaitan. But in chapter 11, meron din siyang weakness. Yung weakness niya yung babae. Pag nakakita siya ng babae na maganda, kagaya ni Solomon, nawawala nahihibang na sila. Nakikita nila. Kaya nga sabi nila, may kasabihan nga, pag ang babae ay maganda, ay may sumpa. Totoo ba yun? Pag maganda ang isang babae, parang curse. Kasi hindi magiging maganda ang
Sakit
kanyang
naman
buhay.
yan.
Hindi ko nararanasan.
That's true kasi maraming magnanasa doon sa babae na yan. Look at Abraham. Tingnan mo yung asawa niya, si Sarah. Sarah was a beautiful woman, pero ganun din. Laging merong temptation na gustong kunin si Sarah, di ba? Kaya sabi nga, I don't know kung totoo yun. Pag ang isang babae maganda raw ay may curse. I don't know. No? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Sa daming
biblical.
Sino
good
po?
and bad.
Okay. Come on.
Kaya sabi nga, umanap ka ng pangit. At ibigin mong tunay.
Si Chloe, nagot ka kay Brother Mike.
Di ba kanta yun?
May phone question. Gusto raw maninig ang boses ni Marlon. Ano masasabi mo ka David dito, Marlon?
Hello po. Natuwa lang po ako sa sinabi ni ni Brother Joey po yung tungkol po sa pag maganda raw yung babae may curse po, no, may sumpa. Hindi po kasi naniniwala po doon, no. Sorry si Brother Joey. Siguro po pag gwapo po ang lalaki, yun po ang may sumpa.
Amen.
Kasi pagseselosan tayo ng ating mga asawa. Ayan. Kaya pag po pinagseselosan tayo, ang sasagot lang po natin sa kanila, bakit ka nag-asawa ng gwapo? Di ba, darling?
Ay, nako. Grabe.
And beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, di ba? Ito sa taong nakakita.
Ayun po, ako po, siguro po yung sa po natin, yung sa pinag-aralan po natin, habang nakikinig po ako kanina, Kailan po kasi, nung unang panahon po kasi, nung panahon po na yan, sila po siguro sa tanong ko po ito, parang napakahirap po kasing ma-determine po nung panahon na yan kung ano po pa talaga yung sin. Di ba? Para pong nakikita po kasi natin dyan yung sin na ginawa ni David, yung adultery po, naki-appeal po siya kay Bathsheba. Kailan po, di ba, that time kasi, parang nino-normalize rin naman dyan yung killing, murder, patayan. So, anong difference ng pagpatay sa mambababae? Yan po yung parang nakikita ko po nung panahon na yan, di ba? Parang, papatayin natin yung isang tribe, isang tribo, parang walang mercy, Pag hindi natin ka-lineage yan, or ka-tribe natin yan, yan yung normal yan di ba? Parang panahon po ngayon yan di ba? Parang for me that time is religion war di ba? Religion war po yun between the sabi natin, the Jews, the Christian or awayan ng land Parang ano ang difference nung pagpatay doon sa pambababae? Kasi di ba nung panahon ni Moises, lumabas na yung commandments na thou shall not kill and thou shall not commit adultery. But nagpapatayan pa rin sila. Where's the mercy that time? Di ba unlike po ngayon, di ba in the New Testament, parang mahalin natin yung ating kaaway. Di ba po yan po ituro sa atin every time nanonood tayo sa service natin. But that time, patayin natin yung ating kaaway. Di ba? So anong difference ng adultery doon sa pagpatay? Di ba po? Yun lang po yung parang yung parang take ko lang po kasi diyan. But however, kung titignan talaga natin, si David, tao po yan, no? Magkakasala po yan. Magkakasala tayo. And then sabi nga po natin, no, si David ano sa prime niya? Which is ano yung prime po niya? Battle, di ba? Marami siyang pinatay na kings, di ba? Talagang maano po yun, no? Talagang matutokso rin siya dahil ano ang pambababae sa pagpatay? Parang pareho lang. For me, yun lang po yung aking take po dun sa ano po natin. Thank you po.
Thank you. Grace, ikaw meron, Grace?
Wala naman po. Parang same lang din. kay Brother Joe. Kay Brother Joe.
Yun lang po yung sa akin po. No? Parang medyo ano lang po kasi, medyo yun nga po, di ba, yung lagi pong ina-advise sa akin ni Brother Joey, laging pag-itanong ko, di ba, that the old commandments, medyo, sa Brother Joey yun, sabi natin yung God of, di ba, parang masungit si God that time. Pag nagawa ka ng pagkakamali, mamalasin ka. However, in the New Testament mo po, God of love, di ba, kahit gaano tayo kasama, di ba, meron grace at merong grace na ibibigay po sa atin. Yan po yung parang nakikita ko po dun sa sa two sides po nung story po sa Bible that time. Pero sabi nga natin, si God, same God rin man po yun That's why binigay niya si Jesus sa atin po, di ba? Kasi just po siya, di ba? Just talaga siya. Si Jesus Christ, yun po yung ginamit niya para mapatawad po niya talaga tayo. So His grace po. Yun lang po yung aking take po dyan talaga.
Teka muna, may nagdi-disagree yung guest natin. Mona, ano yung disagree mo? Mona?
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I just, sorry po, I beg to disagree kasi ayaw ako malik sa Sorry, I beg to disagree, brother. Kasi ang pagsiselos naman ng asawa, insecurity yun Kung confident ang babae, kahit pogi, kahit pangit ang asawa mo, hindi ka magsiselos. Kasi alam mo, mahal ka niya at hindi ka niya pagpapalit. Pareho rin yung pag-aasawa ng pangit, sinabi niyo, or gwapo. I don't know. That's how I see it Yung mga nagsiselos, insecure yun. Kaya mga ladies, feel beautiful before the eye of your, di ba? Ganun lang yun. Pero in connection with our topic, kasi nakita ko lang dito yung pag-rise ni David. Di ba he's a, naman actually, ang niya dito, problema niya dito yung David is also gwapo, di ba? Portrayal dito is talagang maskulado na di ba? From the very start. Bata pa siya, is really gwapo, di ba? From the start. Kaya nga, probably, yung decides, yung siya, yung yung actually, si Bathsheba rin dito may kasalanan for me kasi pumatol siya dito probably because of yung authority ni King David kaya ganon. Pero still pareho sila nagkasala dito. Pero nakikita rin naman natin how kind and si David dun sa chapter 9, di ba? Bakit niya hinanap pa yung mga descendants ni King Saul, di ba? Bakit tinulungan pa niya dito? So in effect, pinoportray lang dito yung weakness ng isang tao as a human being. Kasi nakikita naman natin like si King Solomon, ano naman yan playboy naman yan, like itong si di ba? Ganun lang siguro yon yung weakness niya na hindi niya na-overcome kay Bathsheba. Tapos yung masakit pa doon, di ba? Yung sinend out niya yung si Uriah, yung asawa, sa war, nilagay niya sa front line thinking na baka naman ang problema din niya kasi even before niya pinadala, di ba, sabi niya, he was intending for Bathsheba to spend the night with the husband. Kaso, di ba, meron silang law na hindi sila pwedeng magkaroon ng sexual activity while on military duty. Kaya walang nangyari, kaya booking-booking talaga, parang ganon. So I could see naman yung adultery ni David is both ways, kay Bathsheba tsaka kay David. Tapos yung plot niya, di ba? Yung sa death, yan yung failures ni David. So, number 1 failure niya, he remained in the palace. Second, adultery with Bathsheba. Third, yung plot niya kay Uriah's death. Tapos meron siyang undecisiveness Tapos yung prayer niya naging ineffective, di ba? Kasi hindi nga natuloy, hindi na natuloy na. Tapos nga yung fearfully takes yung census dito din sa number from 10 to 11. At saka he loses yung thousands of his followers. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Thank you, Mona.
Hindi ka nakikita.
Ha?
Naka-ano ka ba? Naka-off ka na? Ha? Naka-off to? Ano na?
Sino pa ang gustong
Dito ko naman.
Ako.
Okay.
Ako. Lloyd?
Yeah, sige.
Okay. Ako. Para sa akin,
Ate Loy, mute mo na lang muna si Kuya Joey.
Okay.
para sa akin, mukhang pinasukan yata ng pride si David. Para sa, alam niya, king siya. So, as a king, he can get any woman he would desire. Tapos, natapat siya sa isang woman. Sa tingin ko, itong si Bathsheba, medyo affected by the husband. Kasi, di ba, dinigyan na nga siya ni David. Yung husband already gave si Uriah the chance na makasama si Bathsheba, but inuna niya yung pagiging sundalo niya. So, could it be that as a husband, may pagkukulang din si Uriah kay Bathsheba, kaya si Bathsheba madaling nahulog kay David. Kaya nauwi sa sin of adultery, tapos the sin of adultery resulted in the child, na eventually, di ba, the child died. So, para sa akin, pride, alam naman natin na lahat ang source ng pride, ng lahat ng kasalanan is pride. Do you agree? Na ang pinanggagalingan ng lahat ng kasalanan is pride. So, could it be that si David, pinasukan nga ng pride, and that he knew as a king, he can get any woman he would desire. Pero nakakapagtaka lang, bakit hindi napigilan sa sarili niya na alam naman niya mali. So what happened to David could happen to anyone, kahit alam natin mali. Ano natin pipigilan na sayitin natin para to fall into sin na alam natin kasalanan. So, tapos natapat nga siya sa isang woman na who may have been neglected by the husband. Nagtagpo yung dalawa. Yun lang. Thank you.
Thank you.